The WWC, what the world is watching.
Here it is. Here's winner. Okay. So we have winner here from 120. This is who he fought. For those of you who want to know, his total hero power is 426 million HP. I am 310 total hero power, 0 THP.
Nice.
Now, some of these battles, the reason why this is incredibly interesting to tell you. Oh, it is Slappy, that son of a bitch. What up, Slaps? Good dude. He's such a good dude. Okay, so one of the things I will tell you, and you know, this came up actually on YouTube, where somebody in the comments were being delivered, and it was like, tell me you're not a high spender without telling me you're not a high spender. Telling me like, no, you should be doing your mastery, you should be doing your tactical before your mastery, right? That's what they were scolding me on. And it was like, yeah, listen, I totally agree with you. For like, if you're if you're not a real high spender, I totally agree. The same route I've always said. The way that you should be building your tech is your mastery to 100%, your second mastery to 80%. Please do not split 40-40. Please do not do that. Your second mastery is to 80%. Okay? Then you go right into tactical, and you keep doing that until you're finished. And just briefly, I'll dive into this to tell you why you don't do that is because eventually you're going to be working on your set. My God, Slappy, what are you doing, bro? This dude fucking guy is hooking me up, bro. He's just like, he's just in the sound effects. Now, the reason why you stick to 100% mastery and you do 80% mastery, right? Then you jump into tactical and you do it at the end. Now, the reason why you don't split 40-40 is because eventually you're going to get the 39% tactical and they're going to throw you back into mastery. That's what happens at 39% tactical. You have to go back and complete all 3 of your masteries to 100%. It's a horrible thing. They really should change it, especially for free to play and people who don't even use their third team. But I digress. The point is that you are going to use your second team. I know it doesn't seem like, I know it doesn't feel like it, but I assure you, the more you build and the more you go further into this game, even free to play, you will start developing your second team. And there is nothing more important in this game as you learn to be a fighter when you're even free to play or low spend than your wall. Your second team and your wall are critical as you learn to fight and learn that you can actually use a wall. And a mastery being 40% and 40% really does you no good because you're never going to use that third team. I mean, years maybe down the line, like 7 years. But for the most part, the majority of you only need that second team, which means, as I showed you, it takes you 6 months. Literally, I did this myself for you. You saw it was February 1st. I started the mastery, and it took me around 5 months to complete. Now, I didn't buy Valor at all. All I did, wait, that's a lie. That's a lie. I did buy a few trains, which had Valor in it. So I was guilty of that. And I did, they came out with the spending reward. Oh, that's so effing funny. I just realized that. They just came out with the spending rewards during Bullseye week for the Valor. Are they going to take that away too?
Right. Oh, that's right.
Oh, you motherfuckers!
You can Valor from those boxes now. That's right.
That was a big deal because you actually credited us for spending on Bullseye week with Valor. Anyway, I don't know. We'll have to cover that at reset. Not too happy about that right now. But okay, so basically, I spent a little bit because they turned around and they said during Bullseye week, we're going to give you the benefit for spending. You get Valor bonus. So I did get that. Regardless, free to play, if you go straight through, you're going to be 6 months to complete your mastery. So while you're looking at your mastery, you finish tactical at 39% and you bounce back to mastery, you're going to be way better off if one of your masteries is 80%. Why would you want to sit there with one of your masteries at 40 and one at 40? It really, and I understand the logic that you use. You say to yourself, okay, it's less Valor for me to go 40-40 than 180. So I'm going to outsmart the system. I understand that. But ultimately, you're not doing much of a shortcut. It's really not that much of Valor. And ultimately, you have to come back anyway to spend it. So you're really not saving yourself anything. You still have to spend it later. So you're only shortcutting yourself into tactical. Then that's the other thing. I'm going to shortcut myself into tactical. Ultimately, you're only save yourself a few weeks from going 40-40 instead of to 80. It's you don't save yourself that much time where it's not like, oh, I saved myself 3 months, 4 months. No, you don't. You don't save yourself that type of time. So ultimately, you're better off being 80% because then you can complete that team into 100% mastery and 100% mastery. And you can have that second team when you're 39% tactical, you can have that second team at 100 and 100. And then you can work on that third mastery, which they force you to complete, while also having the best second team on your wall. That's the way to do it, especially if you're free to play low spend and you're moving through that way. That's what I would recommend. But for high spender, I've said this. This is my strategy. And I did this. So, you can look at my mastery to see what I did. So I have 3 completed masteries, and now I'm 1% tactical. Now, why did I do that? When the traditional people, everybody, going to tactical. As I've said, if you look at 3v3, the game actually gives you a preview of how the fighting should be done in the battlefield. You want to counter everybody. You want to counter fight. Everybody who's high spend knows that you'll be able to get everything for your second team and your third team as you fight when you're a high spender. That's why this is only a high spender strategy. You getting prints are no problem. I have second squad, third squad, you get completely printed out 4.4. Your 2 red squads, completely red prints on your first and second team. And there's red prints on your third team as you build. Now, listen, I understand that's why I'm telling you this is only high spender, because your eyes are rolling back in your head like, who the hell looks like this? Exactly. High spenders do. That's why this strategy works. Their chips are built. So you have like me. I'm like almost 10-star chips and then 8-star, 8-star. So I have a second and third squad ready to go. However, that third squad isn't worth shit without a mastery. It's empty. You might as well not have the prints. You might as well not have anything. You can't fight with it without the mastery. So rather, like I told you, if you look at 3v3 teaches you how to fight. If you counter somebody, you can counter up to like 8 million, 10 million ahead of you when you're on the battlefield. You can counter with a third team, but not without the mastery. So therefore, you're way better off solidifying your second and third teams, going out there with 3 strong teams, and then build up the tactical. Now, this strategy is only work if you are going to be able to use a third team, which X's out probably 90% of the people playing Last War.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would never recommend the strategy to people who are asking me how to build or do stuff like that. That's not the point. That's not who I would give it to. It's my strategy is completely different than what yours might be. And as I said, when I play 3v3, I realized this. I see everybody working on tactical, and I was like, And I talked to Doberman about this, and I told him as well. And I was like, you know what, dude? I'm going to go and push my tank. I know what everybody's doing. Everybody's moving to tactical. I'm going to push my tank because my tank's not worth shit. I'm fighting people right now. I have all this gear on tank. I have my chips, my skills, and my tank can't beat people. I'm like, what? Dude, this tank sucks. The tank doesn't suck. Ask Tanky over there. No, I'm just kidding. But tank team doesn't suck. It's your mastery that sucks. You're so much power and mastery. It's absolutely absurd. It cannot be undervalued more than is in this game. How strong mastery is for your team. QB18 out.
And we all got dreams. We all want things. But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything?